Have you ever felt like there's just not enough hours in the day? You wake up already feeling behind, rushing from task to task, constantly hurried. It's like the world is moving way too fast for you, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to keep up. I have found a way to overcome that rush. I used to feel just like that. I was overwhelmed all the time. I felt like I had no time for myself. But now my days are different. Every day I wake up, I take my daughter to school, I come home, I clean my house, I cook, I do my dishes, I do my laundry, I exercise, I meditate for 20 to 30 minutes every day, I journal, I work on music, I work on YouTube, and I still work full time. And how do I do that? Well, I've slowed down my own perception of the passing of time. What I've learned over the past few years of studying different Eastern philosophies and doing a deep dive into my own consciousness and trying to understand myself is that the human brain works like a water wheel. The more that you input into it, like water feeding into a water wheel, the faster that the mind spins, the faster that the brain operates. And the faster that the brain is operating, the more that time seems to speed up. See, like when you go to bed at night, usually you fall asleep and then you wake up the next day, and unless you dream or something, it feels like almost no time has gone by at all. It feels instantaneous. You wake up, 8 hours have gone by. And the reason for that is because when you're asleep, you're not consciously experiencing anything. You're consciously you're unconscious. Actually, you're moving. So it's from your perspective, you're moving from 10 o'clock at night to 6:30 in the morning all of a sudden, instantly, because no perception took place, no conscious awareness took place. And so obviously the amount of time that you have and the amount of time that you experience depends greatly on how consciously aware you are of the time that's passing by. And so when we overload ourselves with distractions and information, our brains move quickly and we're not able to experience the present moment, and so all of our time just passes us by. And so the key to slowing down time and thus gaining more time and being a more complete, productive person is to become more present and aware of what's going on in front of you, to become more mindful. And so I've found a lot of ways to help myself slow down and focus and become more mindful, because the more that you slow down, the more time that you gain. And one of the easiest ways for us to gain more time is the use of adaptogens and nootropics. Now, you don't have to do this. This isn't like required of you, but I have been using this new mental performance shot called Magic Mind. So this is a shot that's designed to reduce your anxiety, help you become more focused, help you to have more energy, be more motivated, and actually have less stress. These guys reached out to me and they sent me 2 packs of this drink for me to try out for myself. So I've been drinking it for about, I want to say 14 days now, 12 days that I've been drinking it. And the difference that I've experienced, I'm being so for real, is huge. My focus, my energy levels, I'm even all day. I get way better sleep. I'm somebody who has struggled with sleep my entire life, and just recently, for the first time ever, have I been getting a full 8 hours every single night. And I really do think it's because of Magic Mind. It's helping me a lot. So if you have the means, I would strongly suggest using this. But let's get into other methods of slowing down time in our perception. So one of the biggest changes that I've made that has helped me slow down my time, my perception of time, and therefore gain more time during my day, is that I have stopped allowing myself to be distracted by social media. Social media, in my opinion, is a useful tool, but it's becoming a plague that's infecting the world. People are wasting all of their time and attention and energy on social media when they could be immersed in the present moment. The biggest problem that I have with social media is that it's constantly vying for your attention. And when you're giving your attention to it, you're flooding your brain with information about things that have nothing to do with you and nothing to do with the situation that you're currently in. It's all about the news and what's going on with this celebrity and this thing that this person did, and it's a comparative tool. It makes you compare yourself to other people, and it's constantly taking you out of the present moment. And the reason that I decided to cut social media out of my life was because I noticed that I started just opening social media and I don't even remember doing it. Like, it would just randomly happen, and I would have been scrolling for 30, 40 minutes and I don't remember even picking my phone up to look. And so if you have a phone, you can do this. You can set a limit on your apps that makes it so that after a certain period of time, those apps are shut off for you, so you're not wasting all of your time on them. They get shut off automatically and locked out. I do this with Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. 15 minutes a day is all I'm allowed to do, and then after that, my apps automatically shut off. So tip number one is definitely limit the amount of time that you're spending on social media, because if you're spending all of this time on there, you're constantly spinning the wheel of the mind, and so you're not going to be able to slow down. And secondly, you're constantly focusing your attention on things that don't have anything to do with you and are not in the present moment. Another technique that I found is immensely useful for us is journaling. Every day I sit down and I journal by writing the very first thing that comes to mind, no matter what it is, for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I set a timer on my phone. I sit down and with my pen and my notebook, and I write. And there's two reasons that I do this. The first reason is that by training myself to write down the first thing that comes to mind for that period of time, I'm immediately putting myself into the flow state. So that act of writing something for the very first thing that comes to mind is the essence of what the flow state is. It's doing something with no judgment or preconditioned idea of how you want it to turn out or what you're going to do next. You're just in the moment, fully immersed, writing down the very first thing that comes to mind. That translates to the rest of your day. By starting your day that way, the rest of your day it's much easier for you to slip into that state. And the second reason that I do journaling with a pen and a notebook rather than my phone is because the physical action of writing with your hand is a lot more immersive than typing with your thumbs on your phone or sitting down and typing at a computer. There's something about it, I don't really know why, but it just works so much better than doing those things. Writing with a notebook and a pen is just so much more immersive. It also helps me to clarify what thoughts that I'm having, and so the rest of my day, I'm kind of more aware of myself too. I'm kind of more aware of what I'm thinking about and what kind of day I want to have. So definitely sit down and journal. That's a great way to start getting yourself into the flow state and getting yourself into a mindful place. And of course, this is an obvious one, meditation. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools that we have as people. The way that I meditate, every day I meditate for 20, 30, 45 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling. And all I do is I sit down, and I do it cross-legged, but you could do it sitting in a chair with like your palms up, or any way that feels comfortable to you, but that you're not gonna fall asleep while doing it. And I just take deep breaths, close my eyes, and focus on my breath. And other than that, I don't control anything. I don't try to sit perfectly still. I don't try to make my thoughts stop. I just observe them and I let them pass by, kind of like I'm listening to them happen, like on a radio or something. Because that's the nature of your thoughts. Your thoughts are actually little automatic things that they come and go, and you can't really do anything about it. And so by just observing them, what you're doing is you are stopping the input of information into the brain. And so over time, the output slows down. So when you practice that for, 10, 15, 20 minutes every day, you slow down the process of the mind, and that wheel starts to spin a little bit slower and a little bit slower. And after you do it for a few days, you realize that you're much more immersed and much more focused on the present moment. And in that way, you gain a lot of your time back because you're not constantly focused on the next thing and constantly trying to see what, anticipate what's going to happen next or what you need to do next. And in that way, you gain time. Your perception of time actually slows down significantly. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in your life right now, which if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you are, just please, for the next 7 days, I urge you, practice these things. Cut out social media as much as you can. Journal for 10, 15, 20 minutes every day, just writing down the very first thing that comes to mind. That will help you immensely. It will bring you very deeply into the present moment if you make that a normal practice. And thirdly, please just take some time to meditate. Sit down. It doesn't even have to be for very long. Sit down, meditate, close your eyes, observe your thoughts, listen to your breath, right? Take deep breaths in and out. Just do that. If you do this for 7 days, I promise you that your perception of the world around you is going to change, because your perception of time is going to slow down significantly. And you are literally slowing down time, because the deeper your awareness is immersed in the present moment, the more time that you experience. In the same way that when you go to sleep and you wake up the next day, it's instant because you were experiencing none of that time, right? But if you're experiencing a lot of time, your perception of it slows down. I hope that makes sense. And again, if you're feeling up for it, I would definitely suggest checking out Magic Mind. This has, in conjunction with the other things that I've mentioned in this video, Magic Mind has made an enormous difference for me. There are shots, like drinks, that get sold in stores that cost more than a subscription with Magic Mind. Way more than a 30-pack of Magic Mind does. I really think that this is legit, and it has actually helped me a lot in the past 12 days that I've been taking it. So, much love to you guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope it was very helpful to you. And as always, I will see you in the next one.